welcome to SanAntonio Fancast. I'll be the host tonight. My name is Harry. Raymond Call on Blue Sky, Raymond Call Soccer on X. For that here, Royce was gonna be here, but he was yelling too much, lost his voice, whatever. Miss you, Royce. Glad you're here. Robert has turned in his Viking colors to support the Texans because he's been to more Texans games this year than Vikings games. Just putting it out there. I do think we need to have a moment of silence for Jonathan and Man City. I don't even know what to say, man. 89 minutes, looked good. And then it's like SAFC showed up this year, and I'm sorry, Jonathan.
That was pathetic. I can't even. The sad thing is, it's not even like, oh darn, we let this slip against United. I'm just like, oh, the defense that we've had for the last couple months is still there, and just decided to gift United a win in the derby in the last 5 minutes. Okay, well, moving on. The crisis continues.
And they gifted them flat out.
Thanks, Mateus Nunes. Thanks. Real nice there. Real nice back pass and challenge.
And then
great job.
Just you're there. The person that benefited from that, Matt. Hello, Matt.
I didn't even want to watch it. I was like, probably City's gonna win. And I started doing chores, and then towards the end, I saw bam, the goals, and I was like, oh wow. Okay, probably should have watched it.
Well, I heard, like, if you went on to social media at that time, I don't think either fan base enjoyed watching that game. It was a tough watch from both sides. Now, Man U got the W, but it's one of those games where I don't think either team walks out
feeling
happy. Yeah. Hopefully Mahomes' ankle's all right. I know he's probably more precautionary. But the Chiefs rolled the Brownies. My Broncos won, the first team to have under 200 yards in the NFL this year because I don't know what the hell was going on with the offense. But they rolled the Colts by double digits. Rafa, I know you got your Club America, because you like front runners like Real Madrid.
Yeah, I coach for them. So.
It's over, right? I think we can say it's over. 3-1.
Well, 45 minutes right? Away. 3-1. It's 45 minutes away, so hopefully you can get one in and put it away.
So for that here, but we were hoping to have some SAFC player news or coaching news, but we do not. SAFC did roll out. I'm going to flip the script here just because I think the more conversation will be more with the Jäger Cup. SAFC did roll out with the 10th anniversary stuff here with the logo, plan, shirts, merch. Jonathan, I know you got the release. You want to kind of go into it and give your thoughts from the SAFC release point of view, and then we'll go around the horn and give our thoughts. So sure. I'll give my thoughts on it initially, and then we'll come back to Jonathan. Sorry, I caught you off guard. I thought you mentioned you had read it, so I was like, oh, so okay.
I wasn't. I was like, am I? I may or may not be muted. I was not. So it's kind of the reverse of the typical video conferencing problem here. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a standard marketing press release from SAFC. First and foremost, they mention a 10th anniversary logo. I don't know if we want to analyze these things line by line, or if you want me to list them off, but
yeah, let's do the logo.
Okay, so this logo is, I feel like there's a general consensus, at least, that the 10 is a little bizarrely large. I mean, I could understand making it a little more of a kind of a background element, or even, putting a 10 that's slightly larger than the SAFC logo. But it is, if you look at the logo SAFC is using, that 10 is massive, like twice the size of the SAFC logo. So it's a little weird to me. And then I was also kind of poking fun at the fact that SAFC says it's inspired by forged metal and the club's enduring strength in San Antonio, which, I mean, okay, you guys have been around a decade. Like, that's something. That's twice as long as the Scorpions, 4 times as long as the Thunder. I mean, it's only 10 years, though. Like, I don't know. I guess it feels a little overinflated to me, but 10 years is something in the grand scheme of things, particularly in American soccer. So, all right, sure. Do you guys have any more thoughts on that logo?
For me personally, the 10's just it overtakes the badge, and to me, isn't the badge supposed to be what's most important? And you look at it, it's like 10 what? And like, we'll have to see it in person, but to me, with the badge, kind of small, Toyota's, small, established, 2016. I just for me, and I know I've already said this here. Well, I'll put my I'll just do it. I'll just do the branding at this point. The 10 just kills it, and then the shape of the badge. I understand it kind of mimics the SAFC one, but it's off. I don't like it. I'll probably buy the tumbler, but I don't know. Rafa, you're Mr. Club America, Real Madrid. Fancy brands and logos. Your thoughts?
It's all right. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I think Johnson's right. I think you do want to focus more on the team's crest. A little bit bigger, especially also when you win a championship too. You want to kind of have that as a pop, and I think they could have silhouetted the 10 like in the background or something, but more focus on like I said, on the crest. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure people are gonna get that merchandise because, like I said, I've already seen it already on the app. Even the app, they changed it to the new logo. Yep. Maybe Coach Kano's right. Maybe they indicate the parking price increase for next year. He might be right on that.
Yeah, Ollie, are we ranting the tumbler or the phrasing? Right now, I guess it's the logo.
I mean, I'm cool with a tumbler because I did get an order one. I do need a new coffee cup, so I'm like, whatever. It can complement my Bucky's cup, my Bucky's tumbler. But it's never too soon. Oh. But it's all right. I mean, like I said, it's okay. I mean, I don't know how Matt feels about this one.
It's mid. I'll be honest. Very mid. I mean, you could have done. You have a freaking a great marketing team in SLC, and this is what you got. At least could have made the one. You could have made the 1 into the tower. You could have at least put the 0 as the actual shield. I mean,
my idea would have been to add the 2, so to have 210, but highlight the 1 and the 0, because then you're emphasizing the area code in San Antonio. To me, like I said here, there's nothing on there that says San Antonio.
Hey, you just gave us an idea. So if Jason's watching, there you go. There's your homework there.
Well, I was going to say we may or may not see some of these ideas that we're pitching over the next 6 months to year. Would not be surprised, and maybe they were already planning them. Who knows? But if you didn't already announce them, obviously we take credit.
You're not changing the logo on your app and then going to change it, update it later. Now, they may try to improve it, but to me, like I said here, it's,
it could have been better. Let's be honest.
I'm just saying they could do it as merchandise, not necessarily, changing the logo, but you might see a shirt with the 2 10 or something like that. Also, while I'm talking, I neglected to mention, but someone pointed out, there is a Toyota logo on this logo. It's at the bottom,
Yes.
but it
It
does
is?
ever
Yes.
so slightly give some deep root
It's underneath the
vibes,
bench.
and it
Yeah.
just feels a little weird.
That's what I initially thought was the Scorpions after their 2015, San Antonio Scorpions sponsored by Deep Root Financial. Now that was the last year of the Scorpions. Hopefully this isn't the sign of the last year.
Yeah.
We're not reporting that. We're not putting that out there.
No, I mean, I'm not saying the same thing is going to happen, but it does kind of remind you of that. It does ever so slightly give those vibes. Now, of course, Toyota has been a sponsor of SAFC for much longer. They didn't
From
pop
year
up
one.
like Deep Root did. What?
Year one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and even then, it was kind of grandfathered in from the Scorpions, really, with the stadium sponsorship and shirt sponsor and all that. So I don't think it's nearly as questionable as Deep Root, but again, it just kind of gives those vibes. It just feels a little weird to me. But again, Toyota has been a long-time sponsor. It's not as shady. So moving right along, I think we've said enough about the logo. After that, and we should note I did hear some people questioning, okay, is this going to be on the actual jerseys themselves? According to the press release, this logo will be featured across various elements throughout the season, including a brand new merchandise line of shirts, sweatshirts, and hats. Does not say anything about the jerseys, so it might still be just the regular SAFC logo, hopefully.
Might be on the sleeve, if anything.
Or maybe on the back. Probably maybe the 10. I can see that maybe in the back. I would like to say the tumbler. It would be nice if it was like a checkerboard pattern. I think that'd be cool instead of just a white.
And speaking of the checkerboard, and if this new logo will or will not be on the jerseys, SAFC says they will be bringing back some of the favorite jerseys from the past. I think a month or two ago, SAFC just kind of put some feelers out on social media. Hey, what are your favorite jerseys? Totally not trying to figure out which ones they should bring back. I found if you search SanAntonio FC jersey tier list online, SAFC Chain Gang at some point over the last year or two created one. If you just want a refresher on all the jerseys, if maybe this can be kind of an interesting off-season thing. Is okay. What were your favorite jerseys? Which are the ones you'd like to see?
There's only one. There's only one, and that's the Checkers.
Disagree, but okay. Not my favorite, but okay. And this is why, again, maybe this will be an interesting off-season thing that people do, because everyone has their own opinions. Some people might like hoops, some don't.
Everybody else is wrong.
Like
if you don't think the Checkers are good, you're wrong.
Okay, well then I guess this is probably my last time on this podcast. It was nice knowing you guys, and
I mean, mine were always the Fiesta ones. The Fiesta ones were the best ones.
Exactly.
Well, there was only two. Just two, the white one and the black one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It was the black with the stripe. There was the one that looked like confetti on the bottom.
And that was that was from the championship a year. Yeah, that was our away jersey for that. I'm wondering, if, like I said, like you mentioned, how they're going to do the jerseys. I think they're probably going to be like your pregame tops for certain games. I don't think it's going to be the established jerseys because that'll be too much. I think they're going to be pre-top games to commemorate throughout the season. I'm wondering. My biggest thing is who's going to be our uniform provider. That's the one I'm curious about.
You'll see.
Because Puma ends this year, right?
Who knows? I know a couple years ago when SAFC was switching away from Nike, I did get that information a little bit in advance. Did not hear anything this past year, and even if they are switching, I may not have heard about it. But as far as we know, just assume it's still going to be Puma, I guess. And I know you guys are going to grumble about that. Go ahead, get it out of your system. Anyway, after that, it talks about the team paying tribute to current and former players that have contributed to SAFC's success in the USL Championship with the return of club icons and fan favorites. So that could also be kind of an interesting debate as far as what players do you think come back? Who do you want to see come back? I think there are some obvious ones: Matt Cardone, Rafa Castillo. Some of the sort of club icons are already still here, with the likes of Mitch Tainer. So there are a few names in there that you say, okay, yeah, you were a big part of SAFC history. I think, again, that could be a fun debate. After that, SAFC will host Academy Night in 2025, which have they not? I'm pretty sure they've done at least like some sort of an Academy Night before, but do another one. Okay. And
so you got to figure on that one that the past stars will be back for that. So like Ethan Bryant, Leo Torres, because he was a star for the academy.
Gallegos.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing is, some of these guys are still, will be playing domestically. It's not like they can, I guess maybe if they have a bye week, they can come to an SAFC match, but they might have conflicts pretty much every weekend. And B, like you kind of allude to with Leo Torres there, I wonder if he might feel a little weird about coming back to SAFC, because feels like he never really got an opportunity to break into the team, or was never really trusted, at least by Marcina. So you have to consider that even though some of these players may owe the SAFC Academy, that's where they came up, like it's not like they were with anyone else, they may feel weird about coming back to that if things didn't end very well and if they left seeking greener pastures.
Yeah.
Anyway, after that, it mostly just talks about season ticket members receiving limited edition gifts, celebrating the 10th anniversary. And SAFC will also honor the 219 founding season ticket members who helped create a true home field advantage at Toyota Field since day one, with a pre-match recognition ahead of the team's home opener. I guess that means the 219 that are still around, presumably. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't quite clear, but they had to have had more than 219 initially, unless it could also maybe be the 219 that signed up the day that SAFC announced the franchise. Who knows?
That's what my question was. Is it the 219 that were from the inauguration, or is it the 219 that were the first season?
Yeah, it doesn't exactly specify. I guess we'll find out.
You think it'd be from the press conference, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I know I didn't get my season ticket until the second or third game in.
Like I signed mine the day of the press conference.
Yeah.
Because I was at the press conference.
But you know what the sad part was? I didn't even know back then. I didn't even know SAFC was happening until like the first game was about to happen. It was blasted all over the commercials. That was the crazy part.
So, to me, my thing on that, and I know Jonathan kind of hinted at it. At one point, I've got from pretty good sources, there was probably at least 1,000, or probably close to 2,000 season ticket members at the time. To me, when I saw the 219 founding season ticket members, I'm assuming it's from the people that signed up the first year and have remained for 10 years. Which to me is kind of sad. And I know 10 years and people leave a lot, a long time. But the excitement from the Scorpions, and I tried talking with James about it here, James Hope and Steve Arders. It's hard for me to kind of gauge how much attritions took place, because there's been people that have moved. We've had some in our group in our chat that moved to to the Northwest. Jason moved up there. Stuart, who, congratulations, ran a marathon today, I believe. For that, while I had a couple of breakfast tacos, so congratulations, Stuart. We all,
Scott.
There's Scott. So there's, just life takes us different ways. But I think we all know, and especially among the supporters groups, from the Copatejas, from at the time, Bear County Casuals / Mission City, just the number drop off of fans, supporters that have dropped. You figure it's at least a half, right? That have dropped from the very beginning.
It has to be more than half. You had two sections. You had 113 and 118. When 113 got taken away, they got all shoved in 118. But even at that, 118 was probably not even a quarter of what was supposed to be. So,
and I know not all of them were season ticket members, and that's the hard thing for us to be able to kind of verify. My question when I saw that 219, because I've had season tickets the whole time. I've had season tickets since pre-SanAntonio Scorpions, where they got announced at Morgan's Wonderland, where, I still remember Steve and James talking to Mr. Hartman, about, hey, MLS. And, even at that time, Mr. Hartman's like, hey, MLS is going to go either to Austin or SanAntonio. It's not going to go to both. So I've been around from day one, where it was at Heroes for the first year, to the first year at Toyota Field, to now. And when I saw that, I was like, for the 219 founding season ticket members, does that include, and I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to sound mean or anything when I say this, is this for the people that, have the fancier seats, the seat in the middle, like Mike and Jenny check, and the suites, and the through there? Because to me, if it's really only 219 people, to me that's kind of sad. Just we have 6,000 people that regularly attend the game, even when the team's not good. On average, you could probably say we have 6,000 people that show up. To only have 219 from day one, to me was kind of sad. But for me, it's hard to know from where, from what SAFC counts as that founding season ticket members. Because like for Matt, 3 games coming in. To me, he's one of the OGs. Now, he wasn't at the press conference, but if you weren't following the Scorpions, you may not even known that for that. So, Rafa, your thoughts? I know you've been around since day one as well.
I'm wondering, like I said, who are those? Who are the 219s? And I mean, I think SAFC should have been a little bit more clear on that, but maybe they're still working on it. Who knows? But like I said, it's kind of like I said, it's going to be a wait and see thing when they do announce this. I mean, are they going to announce them throughout the season, or is there like a game that's going to be dedicated to them, or so forth? Who knows? But like I said, there's been through the years. Like I said, we've had some great fans. We had some great supporters.
And we still have great fans.
Groups. We still have them too. Fans. Yeah. But we also, like I said, we've lost some good ones too. But like I said, life takes us in different, places and stuff. So, like I said, I was, when I saw that, I was just a little curious. Like, well, okay, well, so what how are they gonna address this? Who is this 219? We'll see. So, like I said, for me, it's just a wait and see. But hopefully, they do it right.
So, I'll say what my biggest complaint on this is, not even complaint, my biggest missed opportunity for SanAntonio FC. This shouldn't have came out until you named the coach. When you're turning the page to, hey, we're officially moving on from, last season. We're bringing in Coach X. This is the start of year 10. He comes out in the branding. If they do what they did when Coach Marcino was announced, have some of the supporters, fans, show up, give them like a T-shirt or something along those lines. to me, that would have built that would have done more to help promote this. The change would have got, I think, a lot more excitement across, for the change, because you've got something to be excited about. My complaint to SAFC is, yeah, bringing back Jorge, bringing back Mitch, that's nice. But if you really look at what's going on in USL Championship, that's the minimum of what teams are doing. When you got Vegas bringing back 18, you got Louisville bringing back 18. When you've got quality teams bringing back not only the core, but basically a starting 11 and bench in a lot of cases, we brought back 10 total, which is great for us. But to me, I just think from a marketing aspect, to bring in the new coach, bring in, Matt, FTC, James, the Crocketeers, bring them in, have them behind that decked out in a t-shirt. It just would have came across a lot better than, in my opinion, it comes across as a money grab. Where, hey, the first thing here is, hey, we're season tickets, we're doing merch, along those lines. I know it's probably just me being a little bit bitter from last year still, and trying to be able to turn the page, and hopefully with the new coach, it's something we can be excited about. But for me personally, I would have liked to have seen them have this announcement when they announce the coach, because that's when this team will take that next step, positive or negative. That's, we're going to turn the page and on to year 10. Matt, do you have something or no?
I mean, you're not wrong. If we could have at least had a coach, and then with the signing, and then I want to announce this, I would have been making it a little bit better. And I've been saying, like how you said along for a while too. Your SGs aren't as involved as they were the first 3 seasons. We're just there now. We're just noise. That's how it feels. We're just noise. And I mean, there's a lot of things we could say they could do better. And at this point, I'm just, in my opinion, yeah, it is what it is.
Jonathan or Rafa, any thoughts on my kind of complaint on the timing?
I think you're right about it. I mean, I think if you want to make a splash and bring excitement after, I mean, granted, after this year, there wasn't really nothing to be excited about with all that happened, not only on the field but really off the field. If you want to really kind of bend bridges, make a splash, make that announcement with this logo, and maybe some new players and stuff. Not just kind of always staying quiet, staying out of the limelight, not keeping us in suspense. Your fans are, you owe it to your fans. And like I said, especially after this season, you got, and plus, like I said, also Matt said it best. The STMs, like I said, well, besides the STMs, the supporter groups too, they haven't really been involved since, in a long time. They've kind of been taken for granted, kind of pushed to the side. That's what's the fuel of your fire there, and they're in the games to get also the crowd to get up, to pump them up. So, and also the players, cheer on the players. So, I think it was this opportunity here, and like I said, they have to start doing something to kind of bring some excitement back.
Anything from you, Jonathan? I know you kind of stay out of the
fan sphere,
the commentary, the opinionated.
I mean, I will say I understand where you guys are coming from with, like, hey, this feels kind of weird without a coach. For SAFC, I don't think they really connect those very much. The 10th season, coach or not, is kind of supposed to be, hey, think about all the great times we've had. Think of the great jerseys we've had, the great players. It's a celebration. It's kind of a reflection, and it's nostalgia. So they're not really linking a coach with that. They they should know, obviously, that they need to bring a coach in eventually. They need to have a team that's competently assembled for next season. At the moment, it looks a little shaky, but if they start putting pieces into place, and if SAFC looks solid next year, hits the ground running, has a good season, then we won't really be remembering this. But yeah, right now it feels a little weird. So I will ask, well, maybe not all of you guys this, but I will at least then ask Harry, what happens if they announce a coach tomorrow? Do you feel like that entire mini rant is kind of just null and void, and you're like, okay, well, moving on?
No, because it's about the timing. Like you make a good counterpoint where, hey, it's more about the celebration and along those lines. But to me, just the timing of it, for me personally, the timing of it just wasn't right. And that's, like I said, that's my personal opinion. And I know SAFC has people a lot smarter than I am, especially at the marketing game for that here. But it just to me, I'm waiting to kind of get excited by whoever the new coach is. And, and of course we're going to debate the new coach. Hey, is it a good hire or a bad hire? That'll come in, but that's part of the fun of the excitement. And when you don't give us player news or anything else to go with this, the only thing we can do is kind of, okay, we can either not do a show and not try to promote it at all, or B, kind of talk about it. And, we've got some, Jägermeister Cup news to finish out the show with, kind of go over with it and do some positive, because there is a lot of positives on here. Don't get me wrong. The merch, like I said here, I do think they'll tweak it. I'm not buying any of this because I am waiting to spend my money on the refurbished jerseys that are coming for that here. I think that's probably where I'll be spending my money, or a scarf. The scarf. I'm interested to kind of see what the scarf looks like for that here. So I'll probably get the tumbler just because, well, I do get that here, but and a hat. We'll see. But I think for me, it's how can you get excited about SanAntonio FC right now?
You know what it kind of feels like, and I know it's not the sport we're supposed to be talking about. But if you remember that Dallas Cowboy loss, the fourth loss, the fourth game that they lost, where everybody was mad because the chains weren't turned for the Cowboys, and Jerry just out of nowhere throws out, "Oh, here's new merch. You want it?" That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
in a way, that to me, that's what it feels like.
But I didn't buy it, so.
Well,
it's what's the word I'm looking for? You're covering up.
You're just putting, yeah.
It feels like
you're just putting in a Band-Aid, yeah.
And I've heard this over social media in a couple of different spots here, that part of the reason why they're doing this is try to bump up the fan attendance numbers, especially because the big thing on this is game one for that here, to try to get people back into the door with the hopes of, hey, 10 games turning it into the full package, for that here. So I do think that some of it is, I think it's no secret that SAFC is struggling on season ticket members, renewals, and, just through there. And that's why, to me, the timing of this goes in just the missed opportunity, because how many people are being like, oh, hey, it's a tumbler. If you're not a fan of SAFC, or if you're a fan of SAFC like me, would I add another 10 games on? I know they came out with, I think it's $25 or something like that, if you want to just get the tumbler if you're a season ticket member, which is something that they didn't used to do. So kudos to them for listening to the fans for saying, hey, if I'm a season ticket member, I want to have the access to, the Tumblr and other stuff here. So they do listen. But to me, it's for this club, we've got to turn around the excitement level, but we need San Antonio FC to give us that platform to be able to start to cheer, to be able to change the tone of the conversation compared to the current tone that we currently have right now. And I'm hoping with the coach that, obviously with the coach, it's just like spring training in baseball. Hey, we got a new coach. Everything's going to be great again, for that here. Although it'd be interesting, somebody floated in our group, what happens if it's somebody internal? I personally don't see that, but if it is somebody internal again, that'll be a different story. Final thoughts on this here. We'll go with you, Jonathan, then Rafa, then Matt, and then we'll move on to the Jägermeister Cup.
I feel like I've pretty much said all I needed to, going line by line.
Same
Matt,
thing.
Rafa? All right. So moving on to the, I'm not even going to tell you, Matt, because you're a Chiefs fan. You're done. So it's the second year of the Jägermeister Cup. First year was just with USL League One. However, this week here, and probably the big news, and let's see here, we can watch this here, the little video. No, I can't because I don't have the sound for it here. But basically, it is made up of 6 regional groups, which we can see here. San Antonio's in Group 2 with Colorado Springs, El Paso, New Mexico, Phoenix, San Antonio, Texoma, a new team, and then Union Omaha. The last 2 are from League One. Each team will play 4 matches, 2 home, 2 away, in home assignments that are quote-unquote randomly drawn. The group stage will kick off the 26th and conclude the weekend of July 26th. And after the group stage, a draw will match for a single elimination knockout tournament. Basically, from my understanding, it's the 6 winners and 2 wild cards that will be selected for that here, as far as the thing here. So looking at the groups, AV Alta FC, League One in Group 1, Vegas, Monterey Bay, Oakland, Orange County, Sacramento, Spokane. So outside of Spokane, this is an all California area, NorCal, SoCal, and then you got Spokane. Group 3, Birmingham, Chattanooga, Ford, Madison, Indy, 1 Knoxville, and Tulsa. Group 4, Detroit City, Hartford, Pittsburgh, Portland, which is up in the Northeast, Rhode Island, and Westchester. So that one's got 2 League One as well. Group 5, Charlotte Independence, Lexington, both League One. Loudoun, Louisville City, North Carolina, and Richmond. So 3 League One teams in Group 5. Group 6, Charleston, Greenville, Miami, Naples, South Georgia, and Tampa Bay. So once again, 3 League One teams in those. And then if you want to say Miami FC is a League One team, I'll allow that based on their performance last year. So, Jonathan, your thoughts? 2 home, 2 away. I already know the one way I want 1 away at Texoma. I want to go to mile marker 1 up in Oklahoma, donate some money up there. And because the stadium's an hour away and it's a local team. But I'm interested to see how they implement this in the schedule. And then just your thoughts on the groups.
Groups are, pretty obviously evenly divided in a sense. Each one has 2 or 3 League One teams, and it's not really a surprise that a couple of the easternmost groups have an extra League One team, because that's kind
Where
of
they're at.
where League One started. Yeah, it's still very focused in that region. As far as SAFC's group, someone pointed out it's got the 3 last USL Championship winners,
Oh, yeah.
SAFC, Phoenix, and Colorado Springs. So that's interesting. Of course, there's always a chance that SAFC does not draw either of the other two because of the way this is so imbalanced. I mean, you've got 6 teams. What is it? 6, maybe even 7 teams in this group. Yeah, so 7 teams. And no, it's 6.
No, it's 7.
At least in. Am I looking at the wrong? Okay, for this one it is 7. Okay, it is one of the groups with 7. But anyway, the point is, so you've got 6 potential opponents, and you're only going to play 3 of them. So it just feels a little weird, little imbalanced. I know USL likes to talk about, this is it's World Cup-esque. It's not that similar if you're not playing every team, if it's not balanced, if you're playing these games over the span of 3 months, because as it says, it's something like April 26th to July 26th or something like that.
Correct.
So you're not playing these matches all in a quick time frame. That's another thing. I feel like it's a little weird to be starting play for this at the same time that you're about to start US Open Cup play in a couple weeks. Just a thought there. And other people, particularly in the SAFC fan base, have pointed out you're already having just your annual injury crisis. So adding even just 3 extra games into the mix, probably not going to help. And this is a situation where, honestly, if you still have Marcina in charge, you might just see the academy guys get trotted out for these games. Who knows? But we'll see how the new coach handles it. I feel like you're chomping at the bit. You want to say something, Harry?
Well, I don't think these are extra games. The League One games will be, yes. But I think the USL Championship games, because how they did it last year is they were league games, so they counted in the League One standings. But it's kind of like the NBA Cup, where it's a regular season game, but those games have extra emphasis for that here, where that result carries over to there. So outside of the Texoma and Union Omaha, outside of those matches, I do think that these will be league official games. So as part, because we get 17 scheduled games for USL Championship. I'm wondering if they maybe move that down to like 34, or 17. So because it's 34, right? 17 regular season. I'm wondering if they move that down to where it's like 16 league games. So a league schedule of 32, and the other game, because they're not giving up a date for the League One. But like you're saying, I don't think that they are going. I don't think like El Paso, New Mexico United, Union Omaha, and others that share facilities have the space to be able to pick up extra matches for that. For that. So I don't believe these will be. I believe these matches will be counted as league and Jägermeister, unless they come out with something extremely different.
Okay. See, and I will say that kind of makes sense when it's League One. Okay. When you're mixing the teams from different leagues, it just feels really weird and silly to me, especially to have some of these matches that are going to count for both competitions. I don't know. That just doesn't sit right with me. I'm, in case you can't tell, in case you can't tell, I'm a little skeptical of this competition, a little skeptical of the format. Like, okay, it's something new. I'll give it a shot, but I'm not exactly on board with it. Something else that we haven't mentioned yet is, let me get the exact wording from the press release. The cup includes, quote, fan-first modifications to encourage attacking soccer, such as penalty shootouts to determine match winners during the group stage, and goals scored as the first tiebreaker in the group standings. So who cares how well you defend as long as you score a crap load of goals? That also does not sit right with me. That's not how this should work. I'm sorry.
But it's the same thing that happens in the NBA Cup, where
which I also don't agree with. Which I also think
I'm not saying, but
I'm just saying.
But here's the reason why every team will take this one serious, and especially when it comes to Open Cup. This has $100,000 cash prize. So there's a cash prize. You both need to shake your head. Winning the title doesn't win you anything. Winning the Open Cup, if you win, you get $300,000. If you finish second, you get $100,000. So to me, being where it's a USL only thing there to be able to, this is something that you're not having to fight the MLS on. This is something that if you're like Sacramento, Rhode Island, Louisville City, San Antonio, hopefully Phoenix, where you consider yourself a big club, being able to get that 100,000 could make a difference on, hopefully it doesn't make a difference, but it could help with the cash flow of bringing in additional players mid-season for that here with the pocketbook.
So if you're SAFC, you sign one, maybe two more players that'll be on the injury list for 2/3 of the season. That makes sense. Okay.
Or use the money for the next season, really.
Hey, we're going to have a new coach
at some point.
The new coach is going to fix all the injury issues.
I give it to Jonathan,
of course.
on that one.
I mean, I'm not wrong. Every season. I just, you can rationalize it all you want, Harry. They have to prove it to me that this is going to be worth it, because it just feels weird to me.
Ollie makes a good point. If we can win the $100,000, we can get a new scoreboard.
Yeah,
It's more expensive than that, but
I mean,
that in the parking.
but it does
Only
make
get
sense
free parking under the.
what Harry's saying, because the season tickets did go up. So who says there's not going to be an additional 2 games we paid for? Just out there.
Because in the thing there, it talked about the number of games.
So it's still going to be 17?
Mm-hmm.
You still pay for the Open Cup games.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I think that's where you're going to pay for the knockout rounds. That's where I think you're going to play for that. And they did mention the reason why they're doing this is that way it gives teams to be able to market, and it's because that's the biggest drawback against the Open Cup is you can't really market those games. Number one, they're on the weekend, or number one, they're in the middle of the week. Number two, you think you usually have a week or two outside of the first game to know where you're traveling to for that next. But so Jonathan's the Harry of playing the role of Harry on the Jägermeister Cup. Got it. I didn't see that coming.
That wasn't on my bingo card.
I guess where we're at, that's it, right? Well, Jägermeister, no SAFC news. One thing we do want to do, I think we're going to try to do it next Sunday. And this is to kind of piggyback off of the 10th anniversary, is put together a 10th anniversary team. So each one of us will have one. Royce has said he's going to try to get it out to the public on the fan page. I'm trying to getting Jonathan to write up an article of his, but Jonathan, he's off season, so we'll see how that goes for that here. Rafa, I think you're touring South Texas this week, right? So you may. Oh no, you're home.
Well, remember, we got a show tomorrow, so.
Yeah, we got a show tomorrow and Wednesday, 5 tomorrow with John Jay, Coach, Coach Poor, and then we're going to have Coach Cano from MacArthur talking about 5A, or at least on this show here, highlighting John Jay boys soccer and MacArthur girls soccer, and I'm assuming we'll talk about both teams from each school for that here. But so, Jonathan, any final thoughts that you have so we can get out in 10 minutes or less?
No, nothing that's really coming to me. Apologies to a couple of SAFC greats who I did not mention among the players that you bring back, because there are definitely a couple more that didn't immediately come to mind. But you might see yourself mentioned in the best 11. You never know.
Matt.
I mean, hopefully we get something by January, or if not, end of January, we'll hear something good. Otherwise, I mean, we're just waiting. I mean, the best thing, I think, the semi-best thing that we've gotten is just that 10th anniversary stuff. But other than that, just here waiting. But I did hear, and I know y'all going to hate me for saying this, I did hear Inter Miami was going to Houston, so I'm waiting for that. So I need to get that date. I want to go see that one. It's going to be a great game. I want to go see that one. But other than that,
did you go to Soccer Factory and get your Inter Miami jersey too?
I keep with my Dynamo jersey.
No. You're going to see Inter Miami. You're not going to see Houston.
No, I'm going to see Houston. I'm just shocked that they're going to have Inter Miami there. It's going to be a full stadium. Nothing but Miami fans, probably. Is what it is.
Matt will be cheerleading with his Inter Miami kit that he buys.
Hell no. Hell no, you'll never see me buy that. But, yeah, there's that. And then, other than that, hopefully we'll hear when.
So you brought this up. You brought this on yourself.
What?
Would you wear an Inter Miami kit, a Frisco kit, or an Austin FC kit? If you had to wear one, which one would you wear?
Dallas.
Oh, really?
Because I can't wear Austin and I can't wear Miami. If I have to go against Houston, I'll wear Dallas.
Nah, dude.
I'll keep it original. I'm not gonna go with these other two misfit teams.
The only correct answer is Miami, because it's a team not in Texas. It's not one of your rivals.
No.
In 10 years, nobody's going to remember this version of Inter Miami, because they'll be back to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, other than that, just waiting to see what new news comes, and then also waiting to see when the Copatejas are going to have their annual meetings to go to that as well. So.
Oh yeah.
Just
if they do.
That's true.
Because the Copatejas have been silent, but then again, and that's why to me it's a lot of this. I think hopefully will change once a new coach is announced by SAFC, to where we can actually start planning for 2025 for that here. Rafa, you're about 10 minutes away from Club America. Is this the championship, or is this?
This is a championship. They win. They get it's a three-peat.
Well, they won it in the first match with bogus calls, but we won't go that far. Your final thought?
Just final thought. Like I said, looking forward to, like I said, this coming week. Like I said, we got some. If you guys haven't tuned in, make sure to check us also out on the SanAntonio Soccer Roundtable 5A preview. Some great guests. Wednesday we'll do the 6A, and then also check out 50/50 podcast from last night. I did it. We had some great guests. From Allen. From the Allen Showcase. Coach Obama from Clay Travis. Also from El Paso, so a lot of great stuff. So plus I also released my RPIs, my actual power rankings, pound for pound, 4A to 6A. The gross list was tough. I want to tell you that was a tough one. I can only imagine when I do the essay, the San Antonio area ones too. So I'm already kind of brainstorming that already, but I'm gonna hold on off that for a bit. But look forward to for tomorrow.
And we got to talk about your Friday night scrimmage and the.
I'll save that for tomorrow. So I'll talk about that.
Save that for tomorrow.
I'll save that for tomorrow. I'll save that for tomorrow. But like I said, like I said, it was a great. There was two great games. I saw a lot, and I kind of needed to see.
Oh, that should be a penalty. Handball.
Whatever. We'll discuss that. Especially we'll discuss more about the whole thing about scrimmages, and I'm sure we'll talk about that with both coaches tomorrow.
My final thought, and like I said, I put this on the SAFC Fancast, or not Fancast, but the SAFC Roundtable, or SanAntonio Soccer Roundtable. Go out and support high school soccer. It's that time of year. Well, I guess TAPS is going on right now. There's scrimmages that's going on all over this week. And then next week, I believe it's the dead period because it's Christmas week. And then the first week in January, it comes back in full circle with tournaments. If you have the opportunity to be a referee, please, take the time, volunteer your time. If you're a spectator, remember for high school referees, club referees, these aren't the professionals. They're going to make mistakes. So please be nice. They're doing their best to be able to put these games on. But for me, like I said here, hope everybody has a great day. Hope everyone has a great holiday season. Merry Christmas to everybody and their families. We'll have a show tentatively scheduled for next Sunday. We might push it back depending on how much work we get done this week. But I'd like to get one more in before Christmas for that here because I'm hoping SAFC doesn't take another week off, but we'll see. If there is breaking news, we will jump in, whether it's me and Matt, me and Jonathan, me and Rafa, or all of us, or if Royce's voice comes back, we'll be able to do it for that here. But Monterrey's made it a game, 1-1, and Rafa, we'll go off and see how this game ends out. What's life without goals? We're out.